Liar Liar ran 1 hour 26 minutes and released in 1997. With it being a new year, that means New Year's resolutions, and more importantly, broken resolutions. We begin at a school with kids who say what it is that their parents do, and a kid says his dad is a liar, and the teacher corrects him when he explains what it is that his dad does, and she says, "Oh, you mean he's a lawyer, not a liar." He shrugs. Jim Carrey, the said dad, is so fun with his son, and Fletcher, that being his name, is legit a liar. Who better to guide his son than Randy Savage and Rick Rude? Oh no, Jerry, the boyfriend of Fletcher's ex, is moving. Fletcher misunderstands. Jerry isn't the only one moving. I think his son and his ex are moving along with Jerry. If Fletcher is taking his son Max to wrestling, why are Fletcher and Max at his law office? Max's birthday is tomorrow. I assume that is why that they are going to the wrestling show. Fletcher forgot his son's birthday, but his secretary bought Max a gift. Wow, this dude is such a massive liar. Oh no, Max realizes his dad isn't taking him to the wrestling show. Jerry is out to dinner with Audrey, Fletcher's ex, and he proposes to her. Jerry, who was the star of The Princess Bride, wants Max and Audrey to move to Boston with him. Jim Carrey is so much fun, he makes Fletcher, the lying lawyer a-hole, almost endearing. Almost. Audrey and Jerry pick Max up from Fletcher. Tonight, Fletcher needs to talk with Audrey about something important, clearly the proposal. At the law office, Fletcher meets with a very guilty client. Jim, you are amazing at being an over-the-top, corrupt lawyer. Fletcher Reed is money. His client and his boss are both into him. The boss lady takes Fletch after the client squeezes his butt. Audrey tells Jerry she can't go with him because of Fletch and Max's relationship. Fletcher calls Audrey and she is so hurt that he isn't coming to Max's birthday. Max wishes his dad was unable to tell a lie because he is so hurt by his father not coming to his birthday party. For Fletcher's sake, Max only wished for one day that his dad couldn't tell a lie, because I'm not sure that Fletcher could have done more than that. Fletcher's first painful truth was to his boss, telling her that he has had better after they get intimate. Second truth happens on an elevator with a new tenant in the building. She punches Fletcher after he tells her why everybody in the building has been so kind to her. When a bum asks Fletcher for money, Fletcher hilariously goes nonstop. When Fletch gets to his courtroom, he struggles saying anything since he can't lie. Jim is so perfect here. When the judge arrives, things get extra awkward. Fletcher asks the judge for a continuance since he currently can't lie. Fletcher yells out, "Settle, settle, settle." Unfortunately, it doesn't work because his client refuses. Fletcher runs out of the courtroom, and in his office, Fletcher tells all of his coworkers every painful truth. While in his office, he can't say or even write lies alone. Fletcher is going nuts. Fletch writes the word blue on his face with his blue pen a bunch of times because he wanted to write that it was red, but he was incapable of doing it. Jim cries out, "What is wrong with me?" as he freaks out. Max tells his mom of his wish, and she begins to believe him when Fletcher calls her and says he'll be right over. Fletcher is driving like a madman to get to Audrey, but since he is driving crazy, a cop pulls him over. Ah, crap. Fletcher Reed tells the cop everything. So much so that to get to Audrey, Fletcher must take a cab to her house. Audrey takes him to the impound lot to get his car. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics. which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, B.C. Brute. The guy working at the impound lot scratched Reed's car, the convertible. Audrey and Fletcher talk about Jerry, but Fletcher is not ready for the truth that he's about to get revealed to himself, the fact that he is a bad father. Fletcher's crushed that his condition allows him to say this truth. He says to Audrey, "I lost you. Don't let me lose Max too." Audrey tells Fletcher about Max's birthday wish, and Fletcher goes to Max's school. When Fletcher gets Max out of class, Max needs to know, is wrestling real? And Fletcher says, in the Olympics, yes. On Channel 27, no. Max agrees to take his wish back, so his dad gets a cake, puts candles on it, has Max blow out the candles, but it doesn't work. I assume this is because Max doesn't feel it or desire for his dad to be able to lie again. Yeah, it's true. Max doesn't want his dad to lie because his dad's lies hurt his son, or the son, Max, unlike other adults' lies, which aren't really bad for him. Or at least he doesn't feel them in the same way. Fletcher's secretary tells him a client needs his advice when he returns to the office. Fletcher yells into the phone, "Stop breaking the law, a-hole." His boss overhears that Fletcher Reed is unable to lie when he's talking to his secretary. The secretary, Greta, is so upset that Fletcher lied to her about the company denying her a raise, so she is now leaving him. Fletch falls to the floor when his boss finds him. She brings him into a boardroom to see the folks who can prevent him from ever becoming partner. Thankfully, the big guy has a sense of humor. This boardroom is becoming a roast. Keep your eyes on that boy, the head of the board thought he was the most funny guy. In court, a man is on the stand, says he took photos and recordings of Mrs. Cole, Fletcher's client, and her guest, as he calls him. Fletcher drank so much water that he was able to ask the judge for a bathroom break, and in the bathroom, Fletch beats himself up to get out of his duty as the lawyer for the Mrs. Cole. When the bailiff brings Fletch back to the court, Fletcher was able to get the case postponed. That is until the judge sees Fletcher Reed is happy, and he asks if he's able to finish. And because Fletch is unable to lie, he says yes. Fletcher can't even ask a question to his client because he knows that she's going to lie. And Kenneth Folk has been brought on the stand. This is going to be painful. The judge is not sure what is up with Fletcher when his competition says he's badgering the witness. And the judge's like, well, it's his witness. Fletcher calls Mrs. Cole to the stand, and the judge says that he'll allow it out of morbid curiosity. Fletcher is able to use the fact that Mrs. Cole lied even upon getting married as a way to cheat his way into winning the game. And that leads to Fletcher saying, "That's the game, nothing further, Your Honor." Fletcher is mad at himself for seeing how Mrs. Cole treats her kids and how that she's using them as pawns against Mr. Cole. Fletcher gets held in contempt of court. When Fletcher calls Audrey, she tells him that she and Max are going away because she needs to protect Max from Fletcher's lies. Fletch yells out, "I love my son," after Greta bails him out of jail, and he gives all of his money to that same bum from earlier outside the court. Fletcher uses the baggage loading thing to get himself to the flight as a way to stop Audrey and Max from going to Boston with Jerry. Then Fletcher steals a plane stair, I don't know, the stairs on that have wheels to catch up to / get the plane to pull over. And this is just such a wild finish. I love the faces Jim Carrey makes. Jerry tells Audrey that he loves her, and she says, Thank you very much. Jerry sees Fletcher out the window, and Audrey tells Max to wave out of, like an awkward, not knowing what to do. Fletcher is trying to get the pilot to pull over, and so he throws a shoe at the cockpit of the plane, and the plane does actually pull over. Jim Carrey then crashes the stairs on wheels into luggage. Audrey tells the cops that that's my husband. Well, was my husband. Max comes to see Fletcher. What a great finish. 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy the father-son moment, and even Jerry is a good man telling Max he doesn't have to go to Boston. And then we flash forward to Max's 6th birthday, and Fletcher and Audrey are worried as Max blows out his candles. When he does, we then see that Fletcher and Audrey are kissing, because in their minds, they are hoping he wishes his parents get back together, when in reality, he wished for an actual gift. But they still gladly get back together, and it was just such a fun, fun trip with so much going on.